Oh, uh, we are again. Another vlog. Another day, another vlog. And today, pretty decent day. I went to the gym. So that's pretty much all I did today. Other than apartment stuff. Which by apartment stuff I mean just like look, making sure I have enough money and stuff. And if I get approved. I hope I get approved. Yeah, that'd be great. If I don't, but I found this other place. It's kind of weird because like on the lease application, some of the things I don't understand. Shocking to me at least. Simple stuff, but there's like things I just don't get on there. Like I don't have a lot of credit, obviously. Like three credit ref. I I don't have three credit references. I have like one, maybe, just maybe. Technically, that one doesn't count because like I can't don't get as a credit reference, which is like credit's such a weird and fucked system. I wouldn't say it's a bad system. I won't say it's like the there. A lot of people be like, I hate it, sucks dick, but like I do think there needs to be a sort of level of like trust system between big sellers and buyers because there's someone can't pay off. Should, a business should be have some idea, but the credit system works in a way where like penalizes you the smallest infraction for years on it, and like that's real world lifetime by the credit system because you're literally you have to live out part of this life to be able to move. Some bad credit infractions can stay on like your credit for like 7 years. Like credit cards can be there. Say you fuck up and mess up on a credit card. Oh, you didn't realize that you could pay it on time. Fucked up. Um, let's say actually that wouldn't work because uh, eventually could probably pay it back. Let's say get about something, don't pay it, your card like it's disconnected from it because it's like sometimes with automatic payments just kind of come out, kind of disappear from an account, right? And let's say you're like, oh, I want to buy a new house. Don't remember thing that you were paying for that stopped paying for, and it like stops, right? It stops getting paid for, and then they let a collection company, like a collection company, they call the business calls a collection company called credit, and then your credit's done for like 7 years. Like, what do you do in this? You're just fucked for 7 years. Can't buy a house or anything. Like that's it. I don't know. It's just such a like I've heard a bunch of rumors about China's social credit score. Obviously, it's not the same way we believe it. Work like, oh, you got a bad haircut, your social credit score goes down, and no one likes you, and obviously more. But like, even their credit system, like, I just wish for like a more stable and more make credit system that helps you build because getting started on building credit like genuinely like so hard because you have to get a credit card in America, at least you have to get it. Like there is no, oh, I can just do this, because you have to get like a loan, a credit card, a mortgage, something. And if you can't afford a mortgage, but you gotta get a credit. If you're just 18, have like a rich parent, like you're just gonna have to get a credit card. Like, that's it. You can't like buy a house or anything. It's not like you're gonna get on a mortgage, and a loan's not really worth it half the time because you need decent credit to get a good loan. So you have to get a credit card. Now there are easy options to get credit cards. I'm just saying like credit cards are just. I personally am not a big. I never really liked. Uh, maybe like, oh, that's just you, but like, come on. Most people don't really like credit cards unless you have like middle class or upper class. Then you probably are fine with credit. They're easy. Like credit cards are just like I don't know. I just don't like them. I don't like them. Plus, if you're poor, like if you have to buy, oh fuck, I need to pay something. Let me use my credit card. You can't do that. Then you got to pay back the credit card, and you know you're not gonna have enough money to pay off the credit card, or like in the month or so that the credit card needs. That's that. You know? Um, yeah. A lot of the U.S. systems like they don't make sense. Like housing is like decent. SNAP and EBT benefits. The thing about it is a lot of them you need just for. So if you're like homeless, SNAP or EBT benefits because they have nowhere to send the card, don't live in it, but you're homeless. Um, other things. Sorry, I'm just checking if it's the background noise. Yeah, with other things like certain things, like okay, let's say because a lot, if you didn't know, like a lot of homeless people also work job, actually multiple jobs. Like that's a lot of homeless people still work. They're just homeless. Let's say you need an ID. First of all, you're gonna need some form of identification, which you may have lost when you where you were living and whatever happened to you to make you home. You might have lost all that day. So that you got to go to the government with none of your information and try and attempt to get like a social security card or like a birth certificate. And like you're poor, so it's most likely you don't have a phone. Even if you do have a phone, it's gonna be hard to get online and do everything because you don't have your information. Then you got to go through that process. Then you have to buy like IDs and stuff because that all costs money, right? Like IDs and stuff, they cost money. You have to pay, get your ID printed out. You have to pay to get another birth certificate. You got to spend money on all that. And this is if you're starting from homeless from nothing. Like you're still like have to pay for food and stuff. You don't have a place to live, and they don't even have a place to send your ID and stuff because you don't live anywhere. Where the fuck are they gonna send it? Oh, I guess you can't receive it. And even if you do go to the office, everything there, you still gotta worry about everything else. It's a long ass process. Why a lot of homeless people are homeless. Like they stay homeless for a lot of their lives. They have no choice. They're spending most of their money on food and transportation to do the things they need to do. That you forget that they like they're probably working under the table most likely. A lot of them. I don't know the statistics on that. I only know there's a lot of homeless people that are working, but there's probably a lot of them not working. Like probably didn't give their like identification when they started working, and it's simply because they can't. That's also another thing. Most jobs you can't get without certain qualifications. If they didn't get a high school or like say their parents died when they were younger, like their parents died and they don't really have anywhere to go. What are they gonna get a GED? Like you know how hard that is. You can't just get a GED. You have to pay for the test and stuff most of the time. Like you can't just take that test, right? You have to pay for it, and you need identification to even take the test. And you know what you need to get your identification? Money. You also need other forms of identification, which you most likely don't have if you're homeless. You don't have that much on you because you're homeless. You don't have anywhere. The homelessness crisis in America would simply solved if we like did some housing first. If you don't know what a housing first initiative is, then it's like uh it's free housing or at least cheap housing so that people can have a place to live. Free or cheap. Focus. Free or like cheap housing so people have a place to live so they can do the things they need to do. But America doesn't care about their homeless. I don't know. I'm feeling much more animated today. Probably because I'm kind of staring at my muscles when I move them a little bit. So I'm like trying to see if like I how like today's workout went. It's hard to tell because I don't feel sore yet. I don't know if I will feel sore tomorrow. So I'm trying to see like how progress is coming along. And I do normally look at myself in the camera anyways because staring actually into the camera like makes me think I'm staring at a person because it's like one dot. Plus my eyes like movement in general. ADHD as hell. So seeing myself talk helps. I'm not narcissistic, although I do wish I was narcissistic. There is a form of narcissism where you actually hate yourself at the same time of loving yourself. Like, want to be better. Or, no, you over, like, I don't remember what it is. I gotta relook it up. But it's like a form of narcissism that exists. with like still like hatred for oneself. Um, yeah. Other than credit system, a lot of other American systems are fucked up. Like the prison system is fucking well. Obviously, it's a carryover from slavery, so it's kind of hard for our prison system to be better. Right? I believe in prison reform. They just need for no prison abolition. I get them mixed up sometimes. Prison reform is like fixing current prisons. My idea is just to start over with. It's so fucked. Like, not only is it racist, which is racist country, that's gonna happen, but like, it's also like, first of all, rehabilitation. We need better rehabilitation practices. Like our recidivism rates are too high. Also, we have too many people in prison. By the way, out of every other country, like multiple countries combined, we have the most prison. I thought we were supposed to be the best country, like the land of opportunity. And you're telling me we have the most people in prison? Also, these people aren't productive in society at all. Like, okay, they may do free labor, but overall it's pretty much not that important labor, and they're just throwing them there so they can pay them 1 cent an hour, so that when they get out they have like $2 to their name and like a Snickers, and then they end up stealing again or doing crime again and going back to prison. Why? Because they don't fucking have the money to not do crime. Because 99% of crime, including a lot of violent crime, is caused by poverty, and that's just the way it's been, for a long time. Like that's the source of crime is poverty. Um, like even like a lot of major crimes, if you really think about it, are due to poverty. Like let's say murder, right? A lot of the time, if we really think about murder, there's maybe an issue of gang violence. Gangs are created simply to get together to support each other, and they don't have enough money to. They may start a gang. That's how gangs normally form. Obviously, like-minded ideas, people living together in like poor areas, obviously, and then those people, other people, also in the poverty-stricken. Um, so like people might die from a if people die from a gang member, obviously that's, or in all honesty, that's just connected to poverty at the end of the day. If we look at like other issues, such as like murder, just like someone being sadistic, murdering someone, like just one night. Like realistically, they could have had, like if it's they could have had mental health help, which could be their own fault, like for not going and seeking mental help or not telling anyone, or no one asking them. But it could also be a level of like they don't have the money to go to therapy, or money or time because they may be working too much to go to therapy, which causes them to act upon sadistic urges instead of getting the help they need. Um, Even if we take this to like the worst crime ever that I can imagine right now, which is like pedophilia, like uh obviously there's 99% of that is not poverty, that fucking weirdo, but like is some chance where like a few of them could have been like not had a chance to get therapy like they needed and committed an awful crime. I'm not fucking vouching for them. They're a piece of shit. Obviously they hurt a child. That's like the worst possible thing you can do. What the fuck's wrong with you, obviously? But there's something wrong in their head, clearly, because they fucking such a child. Like they needed help somewhere along the way, and no one helped them. And now they've hurt someone else. And like, there's a level of anger that you have to have with that person because they still acted on that was their decision at the end of the day to act on those urges. But there's also a level of the system, right? That did not like allow them to get better. But also, remember, when it comes to a crime like that specifically, I don't think that's poverty for the most part, like at all. I think most of it's just weirdos being weirdos. Now, rape is a weird one. If we're talking about like that, I'll say grape for you too. But like grape is a weird one because like if you know anything about like the mindset of a rapist, then you know that most of the time it's about power and less about the sex itself. Like rape is more a power move than it is a sexual. Like there is sex involved, but it's mostly about power. When rape is used in war times, it is a power tool essentially. It's like using a gun or a spear essentially without killing the person. It's supposed to be, I am stronger than you. I am putting my power over you. Now I'm not a rapist. So I've never experienced that, and that seems weird to me. So I don't know. It's just like at some point they obviously have like some control issues that led them down this path. And again, I'm not qualifying any of the people that do these things, like saying they're good, even good people, right? Saying that they're worthy of being letting free. I'm saying that these problems could have been stopped by like better rehabilitation systems, more comprehensive mental health help at a younger age. This could have prevented them from doing these. Whoever, like, that's why I'm not naming names, because I'm not trying to give anyone that does these things any form of like leeway to be like, yeah, I'm mentally ill. That's what led me to do it. Like, no. Yeah, I mean, yes, you are mentally ill and you did do it, but it wasn't just your mental illness that led you to. There's obviously a bit of decision and a lot of, like, a mental problem. Because, okay, if we do the prison system right and we care about rehabilitation, a properly rehabilitated person would not want to murder anyone, right? Like a normal person doesn't want to kill other people, right? That's the point of rehabilitation. Make them like more normalized. Not normal, because normal is such a weird thing and it's hard to like track down normal, but more normal, more normal. Hence, where they're not gonna want to do a terrible thing like murder, because there's a lot of things in the mind that may be messed up with them, and if you fix them, uh, maybe they'll get better. I also don't believe in the death penalty. Like I know there are people that like, obviously like want them to die, including family members maybe sometimes. But at the same time, like normal everyday people that are like, that person deserves to die. Like that's just you're just speaking with your anger. And that you're allowed to do that. That's perfectly understandable. But at the same time, like you gotta realize like while you're just screaming at the person that did it to die, there's still a family that's mourning and grieving. Seeing that and making it more popular by saying, "Oh, this person's bad. They deserve to die." You're not saying anything. Not saying anything important. You're making the family like realize what happened more and more. They understand what happened. Like if like a person murders someone, like the family of the person that was murdered obviously understands that their child or their family member was murdered, right? So just saying that person deserves to die doesn't help them. It just brings up the issue more realistically. And like I don't know. I don't know. Do I think everyone should be really rehabilitated? Absolutely not. I think there are some people that have done horrible, awful crimes, but I think that at least everyone deserves a chance at rehabilitation to not die. I don't think anyone should die. Mostly the most reason I care about no one dying by the government is simply because if the government can kill anyone, then they can kill anyone, right? They don't have to. They can make up a reason, right? They already make up reasons for just like shooting random people sometimes, like the police system. All right, the government wants to, they'll kill you just because if the death penalty is left around for too long. You know, I think that it just that's a. But secondly, the death penalty as a whole is like much more expensive. Like keeping people in the places I can't remember like where they're gonna die. You know, keeping people on the death penalty on like death row. That's what it's called. Just like spends also waste money, and also we have to find humane ways to kill them because we don't really have the most humane ways. Because most like pharmaceutical companies don't want to give drugs to like the U.S. government to help kill people. Um, so they don't want their names associated with it because you're the company that's helping people die. And most countries don't do like there are two countries left, America and Japan. Those are the only ones that do the death penalty. The rest of the world does not. You want to know why? It's not a good system. It doesn't work out well at the end. Even hanging someone is more. Also, it's inhumane. But whatever. Now, some of you may be like, "Oh, well, they did something awful. It cares about humanity." It's like, sure, but the trauma it causes the people that have to kill the person, right, is bad. You don't want to cause them extra trauma. Um, that's not the point. That's not the point, though. Also, death penalty doesn't help us like figure out the root. Like let's take a lighter example. Let's not take the most. Let's take like what's a crime you can. Let's take petty theft. Let's say someone's like a fucking what's it called when people really like stealing? Kleptomaniac. I think it's kleptomaniac. I could look it up. I'll look it up. I think it's a kleptomaniac. The person likes stealing a lot. Anyways, let's say a person loves stealing, right? All the time. Steal all the time. They got something wrong with their brain that just tells them, I need to take things. It gives me a thrill. It gives me. Sending that person to prison doesn't, like, fix them of their kleptomania. It might actually make it worse, as a matter of fact, because they're in prison now. You can't get much there, so you kind of have, like, some people, like, might steal things and help them in their stealing. Secondly, it also doesn't help us figure out the solution to kleptomania. Like if say we rehabilitated that person and studied them along the way, we could maybe find easier ways to take care of kleptomaniacs in general. Figure out what makes them, want to steal so much. Obviously, I don't know if there's a current answer to kleptomania, but like I'm talking about this on a bigger scale with like much deeper issues. Like we got to figure out why these people are doing this. Put an end to it, right? We don't want it to happen anymore. We don't want crimes. We don't want murder. We don't want rape keep happening. Okay, we don't want that to happen. We have to figure out the reasons behind it. We have to study, understand, rehabilitate the people, so we find treatment. So we find exact reason they did things and help us stop them. There's a reason we do fucking vaccines in the first place to like not only help like take care of the problem, but also along the way to help figure out a cure. They already use the American public as test dummies anyway. They're not fucking. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's so stupid. Like, why aren't we studying these people, right? Like, you put them in the prison, you lock them away for like 50 years, and they not only did they not learn nothing, but you learned nothing in the process. I don't know. I don't get it. And like prisons themselves suck. Most of them are dirty, dingy. Fuck. But you're saying, but you're thinking, that doesn't matter. There's prisoners there. They're still human beings. But we should just give them a hard cot to sleep. Lowest recidivism rate, the lowest recidivism rates, and the happiest people alive are fucking people in like Nordic countries, and their prisons are fucking lavish as hell. All right, some Americans would call that fucking communism if they saw a prison from over there. All right, they have beds, TVs. They're allowed to have phones. They're allowed to have Wi-Fi. They're allowed to like stay in their cell or leave their cell when they want to. There's no fucking lockup times. They're allowed to work a job. They're allowed to see their families every week. They've got a special, like some of the like prisons have like special rooms where you can visit your family, like actively go and like have sex with your wife in a special room if you want to. And those people like the recidivism rate there is the lowest in the world. Like they don't recommit crimes most of the time. So also, crazy idea here. We need to get rid of some certain policies with trying to escape prison. Obviously, in Germany and in Nordic countries and like Germany and stuff, it's not illegal to leave, like try to leave prison. Like if you leave naked, because if you leave with their clothes on, obviously you're out with a charge for stealing their clothes. If you leave a prison naked, like they're not gonna consider you like liable for like another larger charge. Why? Because they're understanding humans have a natural want and need to escape confinement, to like have freedom. We have a natural need for that. So why would we keep a system that makes humans trapped, feel like animals? Nordic countries have a need to want to be free. They have a desire. When you're in your house too long, even if you're in your basement living with your parents, you're gonna want to go outside eventually. Because even if you have everything fulfilled in your life, you have every food, every video game, every item that you need immediately. Eventually, you're gonna want to leave because you'll try. And humans need shelter. We love shelter. It's a necessity for us to live. but we don't need it all the time. We don't want constantly stuck in our shelter, one place where the walls are all the same. That's insanity. That's cruel and unusual punishment. It should be illegal for U.S. prisons to exist. The cruel and unusual punishment. Why the fuck is a petty theft or dude that did marijuana in the 19 fucking 80s sitting on a hard cot every day, losing their minds? Maybe committing a worse crime when they get out simply because they're in the. And the government's like, and obviously a lot of it's corporations and lobbyists being like, no, we obviously need to keep there so we keep our prison industrial complex strong to kill more black and brown people and make us more money by fucking using the labor of these poor black and brown folk. Because why the fuck not? Now remember, we must capitulate to our lobbyist gods. It's the only way. Be free. Free market capitalism will set us free. Not truly free market yet. All we need is to take off all regulations and restriction, and then it's truly gonna be a free market, and every person will be happy. All right, and totally won't crash everything immediately. All right, it won't destroy our economy at all. All right, it won't ruin us. In fact, our current system is fine and not falling apart at all. Those crashes that happened in like 9/11 or like 2010 or whenever that housing crash was in the late 2000s, like I can't remember the exact year. I'm 19. I'm not 19. I'm 20. I was born in 2004. All right, like that's part of the system, man. You know how stocks like keep rising inexplicably just forever, like endless growth. That's supposed to happen, obviously. This has no negative effects, obviously. It's so fucking such a. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get America. I don't get the systems. I'm gonna title this video fucking "The Prison System's Broken." Like and subscribe. Fucking. Anyways, yeah. Like and subscribe. Yeah. I'm gonna hopefully post a video, Amazon video tomorrow. And then I'm gonna work on the multiple hour-long Ben, ranking the Ben 10 aliens. So, thank you for watching.